Go ahead, introduce yourself, what you do, who you help, and how you help them.
Hi everyone. So my name is Quinn. I'm a soul brand architect and I work with women who are holistic entrepreneurs. And so what I do on the surface of things is very much branding and branding experience. What we focus on the deeper end is really creating experiences that are immersive enough for the buyers that you want to attract to want to come in and literally stay in your branding. So it's a lot of work on buyers' loyalty and creating immersive experiences. But deeper than that, really what I want to create and help you with is connect on a soul level. That's why I'm calling myself a soul brand architect. Like we are creating a brand that creates a deeper connection between your soul and your soul buyers that come together, because basically I know for sure that no matter who you are, everyone is craving for soul connections. And so I know that as holistic entrepreneurs, you are a heart-led woman and you want to connect from a genuine place of authenticity and heart and love and soul with other people that you're meant to serve. And so this is what we are creating. Um, on the really deeper layer of that, when I work with my clients, we really work on creating a homecoming experience for you as the founder. Because if you are not connected with your soul, this is where the mismatch happens. So, in order for you and your brand to connect you to your soul buyers, you have to be connected deeper with yourself.
And I absolutely love that. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people miss. They think, oh, like the surface level, just do the things, just do the strategy, just show up and it will magically work. But if that missing piece is missing and you're not connected with that soul part, yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't tend to work.
It's
So,
true. It's true. And what I know from my own experience, because I am also a healer in what I do, it's part of what I do, even though I talk about sales, I talk about branding, and this is the things that light me up, but I also love to help healing. And as I said, the homecoming experience is important. And, I've done business the way that you have described, and it just doesn't work the same way that when you are actually really following your purpose. I know something about you and about me and about the women watching is that you are a purpose-driven woman. So you know that your soul came on this earth to fulfill its assignments. And so this is where we go deeper into what's true in this life. I know that most people stop at surface level everything. But for me, I like to go deep and real quick. I'm like a no BS woman. And so I know that it is appreciated from the women that I serve.
so how did you get into doing what you're doing?
Sure. So my path in entrepreneurship honestly has been since I was a child, because I've been that was my calling from from that place, from that time in my life. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so like I've just prepared myself my entire life after school. Well, at school I deep dived into marketing and business and management. After that, I made a point of working for the best companies in the world because I wanted to really learn. I was like a sponge. I was on a mission to learn everything that made them the best. I've always had that strive for excellence in what I do. And because I am very passionate, like I was born an entrepreneur for sure. And so I knew that I wanted to learn from the best because I wanted to give and provide nothing but the best for the people buying from me. Because even myself, as a buyer, I expect nothing less but the best. If I'm going to be investing into a product or a service, I expect a certain experience. And so that strive for excellence drove me through different companies, like the best companies in the world, eBay, Apple, Microsoft, you name it. I really did my best to learn from those institutions. And then when I was ready to just launch myself into a business, I did that thinking that what I had was enough. And so I did that, and the five first businesses that I created failed. They failed. It was back-to-back businesses failing. But for someone like me who was so determined, I kept going back in. Didn't work, let's try again. Didn't work, let's try again. And at the fifth one, I sat down with myself and I was like, I have enough of this cycle. There's something that doesn't make sense. And so I just, went back into thinking, what did I do? Like, what do I keep feeling every single time? And what I was doing is that I was so ingrained into wanting to be excellent and to do things like others that I realized I was the missing piece. My soul was the missing piece. My voice was the missing piece. My culture was the missing piece. My mission was the missing piece. And God was the missing piece. Last but not least, definitely, I was so focused on doing things like others, replicating others, watching others grow, going on their websites and be like, I want this kind of website. I want this kind of brand. Oh my God, she's amazing in this video. That's exactly what I want to do. Oh my God, she's amazing on this stage. I want to be a speaker too. I was so into this perpetual cycle that I lost myself in the process. And so that fifth business was a homecoming to myself and a homecoming to God. And that created a very specific and deep connection with him. And I, prayed on it. I decided to just lock in for business number six with just me and him and my soul and everything that I have accumulated, all this knowledge, using that, but trusting myself, trusting my discernment, trusting my judgment, trusting my intuition, and trusting my direction, my crazy creativity, and just going full force into this. And business number six made six figures in the first year, and the rest was history because I was able to create back-to-back other businesses that were successful because I found what worked for me. And so I became so passionate, even so more about business. And when you do something like this, people tend to come to you and ask you questions. And I'm that kind of person. People come to me, they feel safe to tell me things they don't tell to others. And so they also come and ask me questions about business. And so I just realized I love helping people. I'm a people person. If you meet me in real life, I'm a hugger. I touch and quality times are my favorite, like my love language. And so look, when that happened, and I realized also that, I have a passion for creating brands, creating immersive worlds, not just brands, but worlds that people want to come in and feel like they belong. They never want to get out of this experience. And so I was like, you know what? I can teach that. I can sell that skill, but I have integrity. Who I am going to help with is very important to me. I believe in healing. I believe in self-development. I believe in all of these things. And so it is very intentional for me to work only with holistic women entrepreneurs, women specifically. The guys, they have their bro marketing and all of these people, the marketers, and all the help they need. But women, especially mothers, we are one specific kind of creator, beautiful creature that really, when we sit down with what we do, we make the world better. We help the world heal. And this is why I make a point of just helping this community and creating those brand experiences, these soul connections, these sisterhood and things like that. That is what drives me and why I'm doing what I do.
How would you say your approach is different than others in your fields? Because I know quite a few people that help with branding and help with even the intuition and finding finding what you need to be doing. So
Yeah.
how you do things a little different? Because I know one of the things I know is that you use human design.
Yeah, I use different tools. All of these for me are tools. I use human design, astrology, I use faith, I use hypnotherapy because I'm a hypnotherapist as well. Uh, all of these are layers that help you create a world and experience. There are people who are helping with branding. Usually it really stops at aesthetics. They also help you with understanding what is your soul purpose, and that is beautiful. For me, I base myself on this, and whatever you have in your mind, I help you creating it in real life, real tangible results, a real world that you yourself live in and that people come in and immerse themselves in. There is not enough education or people talking about brand experiences. When you sit down with just this truth, and you look at what makes Apple Apple and all of these beautiful other corporations and companies, whether they're big or small, what makes them so unique is the experience. As I said, my love language is quality time, and I know that people want to immerse themselves and enjoy the time when they invest into something. They want to enjoy it, especially us women. We are body creatures. We want to be able to feel it in our bodies. And so that is the kind of experience that I help you create in your business. It's not just a homecoming to the body, to yourself, but people coming in, they have that homecoming full body experience, that kind of experience that just gives you chill and you feel like, oh my God, I had the best time in my life. I want more. And at the end of the day, don't we just all want to enjoy life that way?
Yes, I think we do. So how have you changed your networking strategy over time from when you were just starting with your business until now?
Yeah, of course. So, as I said, I'm a people person. So I've definitely have been to so many different kind of networking events. You name it, from fashion shows, because I started years ago my online journey as a blogger. I went to so many like different kind of like business oriented, government oriented, or sports oriented events, because basically networking doesn't just happen when you are in the networking environment. It happens everywhere, even when you are at the grocery store. It really does get to happen everywhere, because networking is just creating relationships. And so the way that I was doing it, I think one of the first women business network event that I attended to is when I was working at eBay. It was in Ireland back in the days, and they had this Vodafone woman business entrepreneur. No, sorry, it was from the Business Council of Dublin, and so it was very much like official. And so I got to meet the CEO of Vodafone there. So this is just like AT&T here in the US. And so I was like, I want to be her when I grow up. And I remember how official that was. And everyone was an entrepreneur before me. At that time, I was working for eBay. And my job at eBay was to coach entrepreneurs on the platform on how to sell and be successful. And so I kind of felt like, okay, I'm out of place, but I still belong here because that's what I do still. And so I wanted to just impress. I was very young. I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to sound so professional and all of these things. And I also with time created my business cards as I was going to different events and stuff like that. And I've learned that basically if you want to create real relationships, you have to forget about your business cards. I've been to so many networking events where people were just exchanging business cards because they were just there to create to get leads, to get sales, to that's it. And so this is the first thing they do, like that you feel and you see in their body language that they don't want to be there. And so they force themselves to just give the business card and that's it. Hi, my name is this, and like call me if you need me and stuff like that. And so you go to events where you have people who are coming from different environments, different industries and stuff like that. This is awesome when you know how to really network from a place of relationships, because it's true that you never know who will like link you, get you, introduce you to your next client. This is true. But the mistake I think that we do all at the beginning is to go to events that are not niche focused. So if you're starting out, don't go to those big events. Make sure that you go to events that are, like, I would say small to medium size, where you have space to breathe, and you know that only people who are there are from your industry, because everything else is a waste of time if you have not mastered how to create uh, good relationships from the beginning, you know? And so then when you grow into becoming a really good networker, I don't like using that word because we use networking, but it really is about creating relationships, you know, becoming friends with people, because that is important, you know. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So it's about creating relationships and friendships, professional friendships. And so look, it really is just like back in the days when we were kids at the playground and you see another kid and you're like, hey, do you want to be my friend? It's just as simple as that. I think that when we grow up, we feel like it's so difficult to create meaningful relationships and become friends with people, but it's just overcomplicating things for nothing. So this is how I would advise from you to use my experience and the things that I've learned to really have a networking strategy that really will work for you at the beginning. Focus on your niche, on your industry, and be a human being. Like, forget about your business cards. What I have is a keychain that has a tag. And if you tap in the phone, then you're going to have my website is like, you know, the link in bio page that comes in, and you're going to have like all my details and all. But that's when the relationship is created and the connection is there. And we spoke about something and we are planning to do something in the future. So here it is. I just tap and you have it on the phone. Technology is amazing.
Would you say you're more introverted or extroverted, and how does that affect the choices you make about networking?
So this is an interesting question, and I have a pretty steady take on introverted versus extroverted. Um, I grew up thinking that I was introverted. I really, really did for a very long time. And so then I realized people are introverted when they are not in their element, they are not in the environment that allows them to be fully themselves. Take that into consideration. And what I do, I create worlds where people are fully feeling free to be fully themselves. And so this is when you see introverted people become extroverted, because they get into their aquarium just like a fish that jumps into the aquarium, and then all of a sudden they're fully themselves and they seem to be easy to talk to. They go to people and stuff like that. So I really believe that everyone who feel like they are introverted is because they're not in the environment that allows them to be fully themselves without judgment and just accepted fully. So that's me now understanding that I have never been an introverted person. I was just in the wrong place.
I think that's certainly an interesting take on it. And how does that view of introversion and extroversion, how does that affect the way that you network?
So if you feel like you're introverted, you're very much going to be like reserved when you are in a place. like an environment, especially if this is an environment where you feel like you have to be there or you have to perform, you have to show up as someone because you're just focused on others in like uh I hope they like me kind of underlined feeling and desire. And it's not about that. It's not how you force yourself to network. Connection will start when there's a soul connection, when there's a heart connection, when there's a real connection. Everything else after that will just feel forced if you're not there. And you know that business is not going to be conducted. I'm telling you this. And if it is, it's going to feel forced, and that's not what you want. Especially, I know that from introverted, we want heart, heart connections, mind connections, something that is real and authentic. So if you feel like you're in that space of, you know, being reserved, again, you're not in the right place. As an extroverted, you don't have any issues with going to people and you just roll with the punches no matter what they say to you. It flows. There's no problem. It's not that deep. We are there to connect. We're there to have a good time, to be successful together. And if it happens, that's amazing. If it doesn't, on to the next. Wish you on nothing but the best. It flows.
Getting comfortable being uncomfortable is part of the entrepreneur skill set. What helped you get past that when things felt uncomfortable?
Yeah, so that I love this question because if you know anything about human design, if not, I will translate. I'm a line of 3-5. So the three is literally the line where we jump right into things. And so we are literally, this is our life path to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. And so at the beginning, you just have um, that aspiration. It's not aspiration, it really is a mindset of life where it's like, I'm just going to try. I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to try and see what I get from the experience. I'm just going to try and just roll with the punches. And so that is literally a lifelong skill that I have learned to really master at this point. What you get out of it is you go for these things because you trust yourself that no matter what happens, you've got your back. No matter what happens, you can get out of sticky situations. And this is just like in the worst case scenario. Otherwise, you keep learning and you keep growing and amazing things happen. And so really entrepreneurship is about understanding that is like if you're afraid really of things happening is because the self-trust is not deep enough. So I know that many people will tell you do it afraid or you have to be courageous. I don't believe in that. I believe in growing and really cultivating bravery where you just go forward because you know that no matter what you win. If it's a lesson, you win because that's going to help you get better for the future. And if it's a success, you win. You win either ways. Either ways, you know that you've got yourself. You are resourceful enough to understand how to fix things, to get back on track. Uh, and that certain times you just have to understand that you're a human being. You make mistakes. People around you makes mistakes, and you just forgive and learn and move on. That is the skill that helps entrepreneurs go forward much faster, much deeper than fighting with the fear. Do you know how much energy that takes to fight yourself and be like, I can do it? And then, no, I cannot. And that takes so much energy. And so sit down with yourself and come back home to yourself, cultivate that self-trust that no matter what happens, you've got your back and God is behind you. When God is behind you, you are the supreme majority, nothing and no one can stop you.
How have collaborations been a part of your networking strategy?
I love collaborations. I think that you can get so much out of it. You've got to be able to have the discernment to find the people that will really collaborate with you. There are a lot of people out there who say they want collaboration, and I've learned that the hard way. Uh, Came in. got their end of the deal from me. And when it was time for them to fulfill their end, they never showed up. They just like completely ghosted me. And so, well, you learn, you know, you live, you learn, and be like, you know what? I send you out on your own merry way. And then out of nowhere, they just like years later reappeared and tried to talk to me. And I was like, bye, Felicia. No way. You know, you live, you learn. It's your time to learn now. But you know, like I know that I do my best to approach these relationships with like literally giving the best of my intention, the best of my work. And so I trust that the people who are meant to collaborate with me will come up with this energy. If they fall short, then goodbye. I wish you nothing but the best, but far away from me. And so, yeah, find the people that you know will show up for you as well. Have contracts in place, even if, especially this is business. When you say contract, it scares people away. But women who are doing big things, they love signing contracts. I'm gonna say it again because that's important. Women who do big things, they love signing contracts. Contracts give you boundaries. They give you clarity over what is expected and what needs to be fulfilled on both ends. They have deadlines and they have what if shit hit the fan terms and conditions. And so you're protected. This is a boundary, but you're protected. And this helps you come together with people who have their ish together. And so someone who backs off from signing a contract, already you know that this is a red flag. People who are like certain and they have something, good intentions, and they will show up. People of quality will sign that contract happily. And so contracts, terms and conditions, and then just make the most out of it. Have fun together, create amazing things.
What are some of the benefits that you have gotten out of networking?
So many benefits. It's not just about business growth or like more, you know, more business, more more connections with people. I think that when two people come together, especially when it's two women coming together, there is a mutual support that happens. There is a mutual understanding that happens, and there is sisterhood that starts to get created. And I think I know from experience and from the bottom of my heart and my being that when women come together, our energies are like freaking magical together. And so we are meant to come together uh, more than for more than just creating other things. It also benefits us on a personal level. And obviously, the ripple effect is that everyone else around us benefit from it. And I know that women are legacy driven, regardless of who you are, especially if you're a mother. I know that you're legacy driven. And so when women come together, they create legacy. They really, really do.
What are your thoughts on tapping into your intuition and how do you use it when networking?
Absolutely. So I'm huge on that because intuition is a link with God, the way that I see it. This is how he guides us towards success, but this is also what like protects us from what's not from us. So this is real discernment. In the past few weeks, months, I've been like really keen on diving deeper into my own intuition. I also like just out of the blue, it's not that I needed that, but I thought it was fun. So I bought my first Oracle card deck and then I bought another because I started to really love this. And so this is important because again, that's going to give you like that right direction for you. And in networking, also, you just know sometimes you meet someone and you know that you're meant to do great things with them. And on the flip side, also, your intuition will tell you that person is not for you. It will clearly tell you because it wants nothing but your protection. And so following this is important. When you are deep in touch with your intuition, it gives you that self-trust. It gives you that leadership to go and lead, be the first to do things, embody, do things before, and show the direction. You want people to follow you, you have to give them a direction and something worthy of being followed. So intuition is extremely important.
Any closing remarks or things that you wanted to add?
I am just really so grateful to you, Laurie, for having me here. I think, and I'm not, I don't say this lightly, it's an honor for me to just share this message because I know more people need to hear it, more women need to hear it. This is what I needed to hear years ago. And I just really sincerely hope, but I also trust God that the woman who's supposed to hear this will hear it and she will know exactly what to do. She will be led to her next step successfully.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.